Good morning, good morning. Welcome to I've Talked to Anthony. Today we're going to have a conversation. Today I want to just get into it. It's 97 degrees out, so I'm just trying to, stay in the shade and really give you this information so you're able to have the information, the knowledge, and overall that protection that you're going to need to be able to navigate through this world in a healthy way, right? So today's video, we're going to be talking about love bombing, right? The tool for control. Once again, the tool for control. This is what people do to gain the access over you, right? It even control you in a unhealthy way, right? So, healthy love is freedom, security, and peace. Love bombing creates pressure, confusion, independence. Real love is consistent and doesn't need to be rushed or even controlled, right? I want to dive into some situations today. So like I said, if you're able to tune into this video, you're going to get some real knowledge and information today, right? So, off rip, love bombing isn't genuine. It's not real, right? It often is about gaining influence or control, right? So the other person on the other side of the or the table, for instance, look at that. We on a tennis court, right? So you on your side, they're on their side, right? And for instance, they're going to be on their side and they're looking at you as your opponent and they're trying to gain something for you, right? In a real way. And when it comes to these relationships, these bonds, right? And love bombing, it doesn't have to be in a romantic way. This can be from family. This can be, you feel me? Friends, whoever. Like, people are trying to gain that control. And this is the tool, right? So it can look like excessive compliments, gifts, texting, or even moving through relationships really fast. Like I said, somebody has a motive and they're trying to conquer that. Over what? Over you. So I want you to have, like I said, that awareness, so you're able to know what's going on, because I don't want you tricked out your position. I don't want you confused. I don't want you drained. I don't want you scratching your head like, what's going on right now? You one moment you're loving me, the next moment you're beating me down. Like, what's going on, yo? So I want us to understand. So please stick with me, right? So moving forward, the attention, off the rip can feel amazing. You're getting that dopamine rush. You feel me? Things are feeling phenomenal, right? But at the same time, too, like I said, this is unhealthy. And the reason why is because it's all derived by that control, right? So this also can be, very beneficial for those out there. Like I said, stand up if you're coming from a dysfunctional home, right? Because I want us to understand that we're used to the chaos, we're used to the dysfunction, we're used to the love bombing that you may not even realize it, because it's prone in your nervous system, because you had these engagements for long periods of time, and it's fostered in how you were raised and etc., right? For instance, I remember I was talking to my homeboy on the phone. He was telling me about, how he's getting into it with his mom. His mom's on some 9, we all have those moments, right? And then the next moment, she's over here saying, come get this plate. I just made some food for you, whatever, right? We all been there. Even for me, my own mother, she did the same thing for me, right? So it's like, this is some real stuff, yo. We have to be able to realize that some of these patterns, some of these behaviors are unhealthy, and it leads someone else to be in a position of control. That's what? This is not right. It's not healthy. So we're not trying to beat people down, but I'm trying to understand that we need to gain the awareness, because we need to understand what is happening, and we're differentiating what's dysfunctional, unhealthy, right, from the healthy, right? So moving forward, right, I want us, like I said, gain that awareness, gain that self-regulation, emotional regulation, to be more specific, and then, your personal values, right? Because, like I said, this person is trying to compromise you, right? Because you're lacking of self and you're lacking of love within self. So that's why I always emphasize, please spend time alone. Please spend time to detach from the toxic people, your environments, right? Get yourself, in conducive environments, nature, so you're able to unplug and kind of look within the internal, and think about the best support or options that you're able to take, so you're able to navigate yourself towards a healthy relationship and direction, right? So real love develops over time. It doesn't, revolve around that pressure. It doesn't revolve around being rushed into a connection, right? So some of these people out here that are love bombing, like I said, they're trying to conquer you, right? I'm gonna get real with you, right? So I was talking to this female. We ain't gotta say names, feel me? So it's just you get the meat and potatoes, right? So I was talking to this female, and I known her from a minute, right? I met this shorty back when I was in community college, right? And we have mutual friends, and I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. I expressed to this individual various times, like, yo, like I'm going through a lot. I'm not really ready to take anything serious at the moment in regards to a relationship, right? So, me being real to myself, being authentic, I expressed to this individual, in self-discovery as I'm navigating myself, right? Like, yo, I'm realizing I'm coming from a dysfunctional home. Like, I got a lot of inner stuff. I'm not trying to trauma bond. I even said that word to her. I'm not trying to trauma bond. You feel me? And Guess what was happening to me? She was giving me gifts. She was doing this, buying me sneakers, buying me all these, you feel me, materialized things. And it took me, you feel me, a while to recognize, as we're breaking this down with you guys, that this is dysfunction, this is love bombing based on someone else's insecurities, someone else's, control that they're trying to derive from you, right? Everybody has, their own development that they're trying to navigate through. Everybody has their own insecurities, trauma, and, sense of worth or whatever they have within themselves that they're trying to derive. However, we have to understand, like I said, what is healthy and what is unhealthy. I was also able to recognize too, having a conversation with this individual, that, for instance, their last relationship, for instance, they were deceived. So what happened with this individual, with her, is that she was paying for the person to go to school. So she's basically paying the tuition for the man's type thing. And I'm like, yo, so once she told me that, I was like kind of connecting the dots. You know what I mean? And I'm realizing, like, oh, snap, like she's basically trying to buy someone's love type of thing. Like, this is not what we do. I don't care if this person's turning 28, 29, approaching 30. You feel me? It don't matter. Other people need to work on what they have to work on, and you have to develop the awareness to know what's going on, because it's not your responsibility to be someone else's emotional filter. It's not your responsibility to be in someone else's life and be controlled and dominated under their provision. Because what happens with love bombing is that one moment they're loving you, the next moment they're using criticism, and they're using all these other things to kind of break your self-esteem down. You feel me? Some of these individuals have went through significant trauma, significant situations, and they have not been accountable and healed through these situations, right? So now you're going to be able to be in a situation where once again, I don't want you to be tore from the floor up or compromise. You understand? This is serious. And when you're dealing with somebody, you're dealing with those emotions, you feel me? We got to be real to ourselves, because if we're not, we cause what? We cause damage. And that's why I'm saying, I made a video about this earlier about, being able to, see through the mask of what people are trying to persuade to people, even you. And these illusions are very delusional, right? And we get pulled into these people, these relationships, right? Based on us not having the awareness. So please tune into that video. But please make sure you're with the program in regards to the dialogue that we derive from this conversation, right? So once again, the love bombing is not healthy. It's not, it's not going to be good for you. Love bombing often creates emotional dependency before trust even was earned, right? So it's like this person is trying to give you these things to get access to you, get control over you, right? You didn't even really trust them yet, because trust takes time. Anything good takes time. Anything rushed, it ain't going to be good. So that's why I want you guys to understand and really see what's going on, right? Once control is established, the affection may be replaced with, like I said, the negative side you're going to start to see, right? You have that criticism, you have that guilt, we have that manipulation, we have that inconsistency, and even sometimes too, let's get to it, right? That power differential gets thrown at you. All the things I did for you, this and that, when you was down bad, who helped you? You feel me? And even sometimes it even gets worse, like I said too, if you're in this situation where you're trying to derive a relationship with this individual, right? You can even have the person say to you, oh, you'll never find a better person than me, right? Some of us, like I said, come from dysfunctional dynamics, right? And you don't even realize it, because like I said that word earlier, trauma bonding. You could be trauma bonding with someone else because they see your gifts. They see your good attributes. They see your potential. You feel me? They see it, but they also see too that you have a little innerness of a lack of self-worth, a lack of self-esteem. You may not have your voice yet. You may not be good at setting boundaries. You feel me? They can see some of your weaknesses. You feel me? Some people that you're around are very strategic, very observant, and they've been watching you for a minute. And once again, like I said, this doesn't have this goes for anybody in this world, not just your family, not just your partner in regards to you're seeking a relationship, you feel me? In regards to that bond, your friends, you gotta keep this hypervigilance left and right. You feel me? To get that protection. Right? So when it comes to you, like I said, these people, once again, I'll repeat it again, is that they replace that self-love, not that self-love, but they replace that love with that criticism, the manipulation, that control, even that guilt to make you feel down, make you feel less than, make you feel inadequate. You know what I mean? So understand that. Because if someone truly loved you and they respected you, wouldn't they want to be able to respect your boundaries? Wouldn't things be able to, have some sense of peace? What is love? What is love? And we understand on the back end too, love sometimes could be, it fluctuates. It goes up and it goes down. But when it comes to love, it's not going to feel pressured. It's not going to feel rushed. It's not going to feel controlled. You feel me? That's not what this is supposed to be. So I want you guys to understand this because, like I said, for those out there that come from dysfunctional households, we're more prone to cling on to this dysfunction. And it's not going to give us the love that we deserve. This is not healthy. So I want us to understand that we deserve what's best for us, but we have to make the best decisions, but also to have the awareness so we're able to see through the nonsense that these people are trying to do to misconstrue our lives up because they don't want to be accountable for their own situations and their circumstances. And I want to say for all out there, y'all, there is support. There's people out here, there's professionals, there's consultants, there's therapists, there's social workers, there's teachers. There's so many people out here in this world that have the skills, that have the abilities to help us, but we must We must seek them. Closed mouths don't get They don't get fed, fam. But let's get back into it, right? Healthy relationships respect boundaries and allow space for both to grow. I want us to ask ourselves in regards to reflection. This is very important, y'all. Do I feel like myself, or do I feel like I'm being pressured into someone else's expectations? And like I said, I was breaking that example down from the shorty that I was kind of referring to you guys about this conversation, just kind of give you guys that insight, is that some of these women, some of these people, for instance, I'm just using an example, right? They're realizing like, oh, snap, I am getting older now. I am not where I want to be right now. And I need to, you feel me? Find somebody. You don't just get love like when you go to TJ Maxx or you go to go to the mall and you purchase a shirt. You don't find love that way. You don't just get to purchase love that way. Love is earned, y'all. Love is trust, y'all. Love takes time, y'all. Anything that is good takes time, y'all. We can't rush the process. So I want you guys to understand what's going on out here. People out here are hurting. People out here are suffering, and they're trying to gain any type of way that they can control their reality. And some of these people out here, respectfully, are in a delusion. It's not real. And if you don't wake up, y'all, you're going to be in a situation where you're compromised. Love bombing is real, and the gifts, the manipulation, the gaslighting to boost you up, to make you, and then playing with you, bro, it's not healthy, y'all. So I want you to understand, yo, that them pairs of sneakers, that designer sunglasses or whatever the materialized possession was, you know what I mean? And you even have people that have wealth behind them, right? Their family members maybe offer you to buy you a car. Brand new car off the lot. Like, you gotta see through the dysfunction, y'all. Do not set yourself up for the failure. Do not set yourself up for the dysfunction. Do not set yourself up to be compromised by someone that's trying to control you. You are not worth, you feel me? You are worth more than these possessions. And I need you to see that. Seek your peace. Seek your happiness. Seek your approval. Seek your love in a healthy way, and things will be much beneficial for you down the line. I want you to have something that's more sustainable, something that's more comfortable, something that is real, rather than you guys playing into a facade or trying to accommodate someone else's wounds that have nothing to do with you. So once again, like I said, I don't want you guys to confuse intensity with the intimacy. Like I said, that fast, quick love, them dopamine rushes, you feel me? Them gifts and all these different things. Do not let it blind you from the reality of what's real. Healthy love gives you freedom. Healthy love gives you security. Healthy love gives you peace. And for those out there that want what's real, please listen to this video, pick up the attributes that we discussed today, and implement them into your life so you're able to get to where you want and what you need, and that is healthy love, not the love bombing. Please give this a thumbs up, share possible, and I'll see you on the next one. Stay blessed. Y'all see the shirt? Love.